I've always wanted to find out what the best game in the Soulsborne series is, but it's just so hard to choose. Some people think it's Elden Ring because of its amazing open world. Some people think it's Dark Souls 1 because of its interconnected world. Some people think it's Dark Souls 2, but I think those people are just on crack. But if you ask me, I don't actually know. So today I wanted to solve it once and for all. I'm going to be playing all 7 Soulsborne games in just 3 weeks and ranking them. I won't have any recency bias, and they'll all be fresh in my memory to compare against each other. Now I have a feeling you're not all going to agree with my rankings, so please let me know how wrong I am in the comments, and subscribe if you enjoy. So I'm obviously not playing the 2009 version, I'm playing the 2020 remake. And this game is a good looking game. And some of the bosses look sick. Like the Penetrator, unfortunate about his name, but he's actually pretty cool. But there is one mechanic in this game that I really don't like. Every time you die, your health gets stuck at half, and you have to use a rare item to fix it. And some of you may say this is a skill issue, and you may be right, but I still don't like it. And there's a lot of gimmick bosses, which I'm just not a fan of. So I'm not going to spend too long on Demon Souls, but I'm sorry Demon Souls fans, it's a C tier from me. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love this game. This playthrough was just so damn fun. Oh, the music. The first thing I did was beat the shit out of this guy and run to get my Zweihander. And just... it felt so nostalgic. I know the interconnected world gets mentioned a lot, but it really does make a difference. And some of the OSTs... and not to mention having one of the coolest bosses in the series, Artorias. He literally sacrificed himself to save his own dog. You can't get better than that. And you've got Ornstein and Smo, a classic fight. The Manus fight. Pinwheel? Everybody loves Pinwheel, right? Listen, I think I've made it pretty clear I like this game, but it's not my absolute favorite, so it's going in the A tier. I have a confession to make. I enjoyed Dark Souls 2 way more than I thought I would. So I did kind of slander Dark Souls 2 fans at the start of the video, but let me explain myself. I think it comes down to 2 things. Firstly, I just played much slower. I got all the Estus shards, got all the Sublime Bone Dust, and just overall went through the game slower. But there is one other reason that I really enjoyed this playthrough. The Santir Spear. This weapon is so damn fun. It has a spin to win attack, which is just so strong, and the normal attack is sick as well. And if you want, you can turn it into a normal spear by just one-handing it. Now, while I did enjoy my playthrough, it definitely doesn't mean it was perfect. Some of the bosses are just horrendous. Sometimes you just question, was that really just a boss I fought? It's not all bad though. The DLC has some great bosses. Fume Knight was great. The second phase of the Ivory King fight. Sirloin, I definitely mispronounced that. But in the base game, the bosses are just not good enough. But I will end it on a positive. Majula is the best hub in the series. The music, the atmosphere, and the best firekeeper in my opinion. It's just perfect. It's always a nice place to come back to. So Dark Souls 2, I really thought you were going to be at the bottom of this tier list, but you've earned your spot in the B tier. One thing I haven't mentioned too much is lore, but I'm mentioning it now because the lore of this game is amazing. I remember watching Vadi videos back in the day and just falling in love with it. So it's already starting with some bonus points, but it instantly loses those bonus points because of a certain thing. I'll let live me take over. You found yourself a hunter. Oh, this game's so... oh, my eyes! Slight overreaction by me. Yous probably can't even really see it in the video, but 30 FPS really does suck. But I will admit, your eyes do adjust over time, and it's not that bad. But one thing I do think that should get a mention is the enemy design in this game. It's a lot different compared to the other games. It's much more on the creepier and just weirder side. But I would like to give a very specific fuck you to the dogs in this game. They do so much damage so quickly. Now, on to the bosses. You've got the good, the bad, and the ugly. But the DLC is where it's really at. Now, would you allow me to present to you what I think is the greatest piece of music in the Soulsborne series, Ludwig the Holy Blade OST. Good thing. Fuck it, we're using one. I'm going for it. Fuck, I can't dodge shit. sorry, brother, you're dead. I missed! You cannot tell me that is not the best OST in the series. I'm sorry. If you think there's a better OST, leave it down in the comments. Bloodborne is without a doubt one of the best games in the series, and I'm going to be placing it ahead of Dark Souls 1 in A tier. Bloodborne Remastered next year? Dark Souls 3 was the very first Dark Souls game I ever played, and for a very long time was always my favorite game. I just loved everything about it. The movement, the music, the bosses, and the DLC is just phenomenal. This game really had everything for me. It was the perfect entry point for me getting into this franchise. But was that just a nostalgia talking? Well, I can thankfully report it absolutely wasn't. This game is still phenomenal, and I've been starting to hear that this game is being considered overrated by a lot of people recently. I wholeheartedly disagree. This game will always have a place in my heart, because it's the game that got me into this series. And it's also the first game that's going to be getting an S tier. But will it be the only one? Okay, back to more upbeat music. So, Sekiro. This game is really damn good. It's definitely the most unique game in the Soulsborne series, as it just plays different from the other games. But god damn, this game is good. This game even has my favorite boss in the whole series, Ishin. But I will be honest, fighting Slave Knight Gale in Dark Souls 3 has me questioning everything. But nonetheless, this game has some sick moments, whether it be seeing the snake for the first time and then stabbing him in the eye, or the Guardian Ape being revived after you thought you killed him, or just the whole Ishin fight. This game has so many moments like this, and I completely understand why this is a lot of people's favorite game in the series. This game is an absolute joy to play through, and I want to give it an S tier so badly, but I just can't. Sekiro has a skill tree system instead of the traditional point system in the other games, which I've just never been a fan of. Also, it doesn't have any DLC, so for all that, it's going into A++ tier. This game is genuinely amazing though, but now it's on to the final game. Elden Ring versus Dark Souls 3. That's a hell of a matchup right there. And I'm gonna be honest, it's very close. These two games, without a doubt, are two of my favorite games in the series. Elden Ring is one of those games, when you beat it for the first time, you sit back and think to yourself, was that one of the greatest games I've ever played? It's that good. It truly is. All the way from fighting the Tree Sentinel for 3 hours at the start of the game, all the way up to the Elden Beast. For such a massive game, it doesn't make that many mistakes. Just exploring around, finding new items, finding dungeons, all that type of stuff, I just absolutely loved. And the quality of bosses, especially for the main bosses, is just phenomenal. Whether it be Godric, Moog, Renala, Radon, Morgott, Godfrey, like all of these bosses are just really good. And I haven't even talked about the DLC. The DLC is massive and has some of my favorite bosses in the series. Mesmer the Impaler. I absolutely love that boss. I could praise this game forever, but I've got to make a decision. Is it better than Dark Souls 3? And I think the answer to that question is yes. It is overall a better game than Dark Souls 3. But the reality is, there's not a single bad game on this list. They are all phenomenal. And it was so fun replaying these games. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next one.